The Honourable Shane Jones.
Rano tātou, i te tuatahi e te kaihau tu o te whare, tēnā koe tēnei pō. Ia tātou e whakawhiti-whiti, ia tātou e whiri-whiri nei i ngā toinga mō tēnei pire. Me te mōhio, arano atu te ārita-rita, arano atu te pauri, arano atu ngā whakaaro e puhia nei te hau, i waingo tonu, ia tātou mātou ngā mema Māori, i runga i o mātou marae. Engari, kua tai mai te pire ki te auraro o tēnei whare. Hei konei ka whakaturengia, hei konei ka whakaritea, hei ngaungau, hei takahi, hei ahara nei mangauri whakatupu. Koia tāku e tū nei ki te tū, koia tāku e wheke nei kia tū ki te whakahe i tēnei pire. Nā reira tēnā koutou, tēnā tātou, kia ora tātou katoa. Sir, an earlier version of this bill led to Tariana Turia turning her back on the people who provided her with the opportunity to establish a parliamentary career. And sir, when she took that fateful step, the Labour Party provided Tariana Turia with an opportunity to speak in the debate related to the first version of the Takutai Moana legislative foray. Sir, she did not extend that courtesy, she did not extend that constitutional nicety to a member of her own party recently departed. And therein lies, sir, the untold story about this bill, that it has led to the fracturing and, sir, to the demise of what was in many respects a powerful concept, sir, that Māori tribes and other backers could have their own party in Parliament. Now, sir, for myself, it's not my preferred political trajectory, but I have to acknowledge that a number of our people are in the House, sir, and they came on the back of Tariana Turia's removal of herself from the Labour Party, standing against our piece of legislation. And it's bizarre, sir, that this piece of legislation is actually akin to some sort of poroporoaki, farewell speech for a significant number of the members of the Māori Party. Because, sir, in an indiscriminate way, they've followed their rhetoric, fallen into the trap of surrendering to the Attorney General, whose, sir, skill at manipulating legislative language has no peer. So, sir, they have unfortunately signed their own death warrant by moving too close to the National Party. Now, sir, Hone Harawira makes a number of very thoughtful remarks. He basically says, sir, that this is the kaupapa, this is the life force that enabled the Māori Party to come into being. And, sir, as a consequence of them literally defecating on that life force, sir, they are about to depart in the ballot boxes. That's what, sir, Hone Harawira has said. And, sir, it's fantastic, given that Hone Harawira has said he won't be attacking the Māori Party. He won't actually indulge in any personal, unparliamentary treatment of the Māori Party. And, sir, their vision, their goals, unfortunately, sir, their goals are now inversely related to the day-to-day interests of their voters. And that verdict, sir, will be delivered upon later in the year. But let's come back to the bill. Sir, it is actually quite a treacherous decision that has been taken. Under the dust, under the misery of Ōtautahi calamities, otherwise known as the visitation of Ruomoko, the earthquake, the government, largely driven by the senior members of the National Party, and Sir cuckolded our Māori Party friends were, and they are sneaking this piece of legislation through against a wide chorus of disdain, disappointment and anger. But, sir, I must say I agree with the Attorney General on one small point. You cannot, sir, in relation to the bill, in relation, sir, to a number of the submissions and the viral campaign, an organised campaign by Mr. Peter Dunn, fortunately soon to disappear along with the low tide mark, as this legislation gets further and further into trouble. A man, sir, associated with the Coastal Coalition group, and that group, sir, has disgraced its underlying purpose. It pretends, sir, that it protects the interests of all New Zealanders, but that group, sir, has no place in this debate because they have been so extreme they've actually ended up empowering Bill English. And in addition to that, sir, they've been so extreme they have turned off many parliamentarians. So, sir, it's not because of our desire to ally ourselves with Muriel Newman or similar miscreants wanting to actually spread discord like the ACT Party against our Māori people. We don't agree with this bill, sir, because it doesn't settle the issue. And, sir, we don't agree with the process. We don't like the process, sir, because of the very surreptitious manner within which this bill, in a week of misery, has been rammed through the Parliament. Secondly, sir, we don't actually want to see a piece of legislation that causes these grievances to fester on and on. We were willing to work with a whole variety of political interests in the spectrum. Unfortunately, the opportunity to do so was was dashed. There was very little opportunity. So, sir, we share a number of the concerns that have been talked about in the House, but this is not the remedy to this particular problem. This constitutional process, sir, reflects an undermining of people's ability to participate, people's ability to have confidence that what small influence they can bring to the constitutional process will be dealt with in a legitimate and caring fashion. And, sir, Tauhenare and the Select Committee actually delivered a very poor result in terms of how they engaged with the submitters. Now, sir, I know that Tauhenare has got a new reputation as a bit of a headbanger. Well, sir, I think that personal political reputations ought to be eclipsed by the integrity of the process and the legitimacy of the constitutional role which this House has. And, sir, I hope Tauhenare in the future bears that in mind, although I fear his future may be pitifully short. However, that's another matter, because there's another resident near Te Atatū, the co-leader of the Māori Party, and, sir, Dr. Peter Sharples has to be acknowledged as the Renaissance man of Te Ao Māori. And he, sir, has walked many of the huarahi or pathways leading to the flowering, really, of Māori identity and how we see it. But this is a very, very retrograde and egregious error that he is for now to be permanently associated with. And his people, unfortunately, sir, will remember it, because the concerns that they have are no longer about the high tide mark, the Mauri stone, the Putakawa tree. They're actually to do with the day-to-day woes of the cost of living and the more mundane burdens that Māori families have to bear. Sir, and it's very unfortunate that he's lost his way on this rather romantic flight, believing that this represents an improvement on the Helen Clark, Michael Cullen version. Sir, it doesn't. Now, Sir, Dr. Cullen wisely made a contribution, and it corrected an error that Labor made. And I've said this on numerous occasions. Labor ought not to have denied the inherent jurisdiction of the High Court. So that was a very, very bleak day, although I can go on to blame other people, not in the House, but unlike Peter Dunn, I won't do that. Peter Dunn, sir, is a man capable of acting like an inhabitant of the Takutai, Moana, low tide, high tide mark. A crab can move sideways whilst giving the impression of going forwards. Or a jellyfish, sir, that you never ever know where is the backbone. That's why, sir, this bill will not settle the issue. This bill will lead to a fatal fracturing of the Māori Party. This bill does lead to a fresh opportunity for Hone Harawira. Whether that's good for Māori, only time will tell. Hopefully they'll exercise some judgment that has a very red tinge to it come November the 26th or whatever the day of the election is. And this bill has cost a great deal